Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Welcome back. We got the supersonic wake on the block. 48-inch deep V monohull self-riding beast. All right, I've been on an upgrade kick here lately. I put some 300mm yellow straps in, some yellow extra large silicone cooling line, a little more flow, a little extra color. It's looking good. It's looking good. Aesthetic upgrades, if you will. Today we're going to be doing a performance upgrade. I have these large sized dual trim tab set from Offshore Electrics. Link for everything I use in the description. We're actually going to mount these on the stock mounting holes. In order to do that, we're going to need to modify the trim tab set. Going to need to be a little bit creative, do a little bit of work to get it to work, but I think it's going to be a great upgrade. It may actually tame down the boat in a turn, in a straight, you know, keep her down. So stick around, stick around. Big B with ironcladers. So I got the stock trim tab off. It's basically just 2 screws and it comes right off. Pretty simple. I wanted to show you guys the 2 tabs like side by side. Okay, the stock tab, it's actually about 1 millimeter longer. Well, probably 2 millimeters longer than the upgraded trim tab. Okay, the upgraded trim tab is much wider. All right, so I want to keep the holes in the boat stock. We're going to need to modify the trim tab. I considered putting a piece of stainless steel on a breakout there and bending it and making a 3-inch tab. I thought about just bending a new trim tab. Thought about it, but I really think the dual trim tab is going to be a good option. The mounting pattern is not the same. You guys see that? All right, so with the upgraded tabs, you're going to need to drill a new hole like right in here somewhere, and I elongated the stock hole. You guys see what it did there? Stock hole elongated. That way we can push it up and get the trim tab mounted flush with the bottom. Okay, so you could actually stop there. You could elongate this hole, drill the new hole, and actually probably just slap it right on the boat. DUN done. When you drop this hole down, you drop the adjuster plate down, it's actually going to be basically sitting on the trim tab. So I actually want to remove some material from the trim tab adjuster, and we're going to grind this lip right here off. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the holes drilled, and we can see what it looks like on the boat real quick. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Make sure you drilling and elongating the right hole. Okay, so it's the inside hole on both tabs. See that? So this one's going to go on the left, this one's going to go on the right. Make sure you're drilling the right hole. Okay, this might be the best way to do it. You know, set your trim tab on a flat top, and you can elongate your hole using the stock trim tab as a reference. Okay, so we're going to line up the stock trim tab hole there, mark it out on the other side. Double check our work here. That should work. So I'm going to basically drill a hole right here, and we're going to do the same thing for the adjuster plate. Okay, so you're probably going to need a punch so you can get your hole started. This is stainless steel, and sometimes it can be a little troublesome, so your bit will want to wander, you know. Get your little punch and get it started. Okay, so I got my hole drilled out. All right, now we need to drill a hole in the adjuster plate. Basically it sits flush on the bottom of the trim tab at this point. So see how that hole lines up with my elongated hole? That sits perfectly on the boat with it sitting flat on the trim tab, elongated hole and the adjuster hole matched up. So I matched them up there, and I used a marker and I marked out where I'm going to put the hole. Okay, so I got my adjuster plate and the trim tab drilled out. Actually looks pretty good. Let's see what it looks like on the boat here. Like I said, we could probably stop right here, to be quite honest with you. Okay, so I got the trim tab temporarily mounted on here. Just want to make sure it's good. It's actually a little bit higher. Actually higher than what I want it. Well, I don't know. It's about 1 millimeter higher. That'll work. And it's level. May actually go down just a little bit. So I'm going to actually elongate. I'm actually going to elongate, let's see, the new hole so we can go down with it. Well, if you're looking at it like this, it'll be up. Before I take material off the bottom of this plate, I'm going to go ahead and scribe the top so I know where to cut it. Okay, so we're basically going to cut this off, that little bit there, and then we're basically going to cut that much off of the bottom of this, you know. So I'm going to go ahead and drill the hole in my other tab, get it ready so I can go out to the shop and modify it. So before I mount up this guy here, I just wanted to give you guys some measurements. So the adjuster plate back, it's 13.6 millimeters thick. Okay, you're gonna have to figure out where you put your hole at. It's pretty simple. You have a template, you know, the stock trim tab is a template. It's pretty simple. And then the back of my trim tab is 14.6 millimeters. So that's the back right here where I had to take down some material. Okay, don't forget to make your little bevel here so it fits on the trim tab. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and get it mounted up here on this side. I'm going to try to do it on camera. Probably need to flip my freaking boat over. I should have showed you guys on the other side. Got our elongated hole here. You see that? See where the screw sits on the elongated hole? Right on the very bottom. This one's drilled perfect. Okay, so basically just gonna get it mounted up in the stock position, and then we'll use our ruler, make sure it's the right height like we did the other side. Basically get it tight and then back off of it about a turn so you can adjust it and it stays where it needs to be at. Get it tight, back off of it about a turn or so, put your ruler on it, and it looks like mine needs to go down. You see it's a little bit too much of a gap. Okay, so I'm going to go down with it. There we go. That looks good. That looks good. All right, gonna tighten up on it. Now we'll just go ahead and tighten it down. We got it exactly where we want it. Do and done. Ooh! Oh, that looks good, man. Oh, that looks freaking sick. Yes, sir, buddy. Yes, sir, buddy. So I didn't go over this. So with your adjuster plate, you actually have two options when you're mounting these trim tabs onto this boat, because you're not using all the hardware. You could use the 2.5 screws or the 3mm screws. I used 3, okay, and they actually have nuts without the nylon locking, or you can choose with the nylon locking. Using the 3mm with the nylon locking nut, I just feel like it will hold better, stay in place better. So we're actually going to go ahead and get these things like set up. I think I'm going to go with maybe like a, let's start off with the outside one, level with the bottom. Okay, I just went down until I felt the trim tab touch my ruler. Okay, so that's level with the bottom. The inside one, I think I'm going to go down maybe, I don't know, a degree or so, just a little bit, not much. Okay, once you figure out where you want to put it, you just tighten down that nylon locking nut or the regular nut, whichever one you decide on using. Boom, 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 and it shouldn't go nowhere. I feel like all my boats that I have dual trim tabs on, I feel the inside tab helps keep the bow down or up in a straight. The inside tab's for straights, and then the outside tab kind of tunes the boat for in and out of a turn. You know, if you go down a lot with the outside tab, you'll see more trim when the boat is in a turn, like over on its beam. You feel me? So I usually on all my boats, the inside tab is a little bit farther down than the outside. Outside's higher, inside's lower. That's typically what I've been noticing with most of my boats. So I'm going to set this one up over here identical. The outside tab is going to be level. The inside tab maybe about a degree down. Okay. We're ready to go, son. Ready to go. All right. I got both sides set exactly the same. A little bit of down on the inside, neutral on the outside. All right, and we'll see how it does when we put it in the water. You know, this may all change once we get it on the water, start running the boat. But hell, it looks like the damn trim tabs were made for the boat. You know, it really does. You do have one extra hole here that's not filled. You guys see that? But you really can't tell it. Like looking at the boat, it don't even look like we did any modifications. You know, trimming that extra off the back here, cleaned it up. We got a little bit of clearance on the bottom of the adjuster, so it's not impeding our up and down trim. All right, we got some new props, some 2118, 2116, 52, 16, 52. We got a bunch of new props to test. I can't wait to get on the water. I'm really prepping it up, so when we actually upgrade the ESC, we'll be ready for the power. You know, either a Castle Hydra or like a 12S capable ESC. Either way, I'm doing my performance upgrades now, prepping the boat up for more power. You know, it looks good. It looks like the trim tabs were made for the boat. It really does. It really does. You can't even tell we did the work, you know. Pretty easy, actually. It took me about 45 minutes to modify the tabs, and about an hour 15 minutes to get them on the boat, get them tuned in. So I appreciate you guys watching. Can't wait to get on the water. See you next time. Big B with Ironclad RC.